Welcome back. Right now, the CDC confirms there are 16 New World screwworm infections in animals here in the U.S. And while there are no reported human cases, the agency does warn the parasitic fly can infect people in areas where insects are circulating. And tonight, Morgan Wolf looks at the symptoms.
It's a species of parasitic flies that feed on the flesh of warm-blooded animals and people. New World screwworms lay eggs in the wounds and body openings, which hatch into larvae and eat live tissue.
We hope for the best and prepare for the worst, and I believe that's where our states and USDA both are aligned.
Mostly cattle have been most impacted so far, and Texas had the majority of the cases. There was also a dog infected in New Mexico. One way U.S. officials are responding is by releasing sterile flies. The USDA says it's an eco-friendly technique that disrupts the parasitic fly's ability to reproduce.
That was very successful in eradicating screwworm from the United States and all the way down through Central America back in the 50s, 60s, and into the early 2000s. And I believe it can be a successful technique again.
While the CDC says that the risk to humans remains low, the agency says to watch for symptoms, including unexplained painful wounds or sores that don't heal, a foul-smelling odor or bleeding, seeing maggots, or feeling movement in open wounds or sores. Any suspected infections in people or animals should be reported to local or state health officials, and protect against the flies in areas where they're present by keeping open wounds clean and covered, wearing loose-fitting, long-sleeved clothing to limit exposed skin. Use an EPA-registered insect repellent to prevent insect bites, and treat clothing and gear with permethrin. Also, sleep indoors or in rooms with screens.
There's a story I didn't want to know about. Earlier this month, the FDA issued an emergency use authorization for a generic over-the-counter medication to treat New World screwworm infections in dogs and cats. And while the agency says most pets are at low risk of being infected, that risk, of course, does increase in areas with confirmed cases. Currently, we're lucky, no confirmed infections in Minnesota or Wisconsin.